We've justified our sin, and we're gonna take you on a ride till we find answers within. Location not here, in shadows we all disappear. Hold on, switch gears, we're gone as fast as we appeared. feeling I once knew when I was close to you. They're fading from my heart now that we're apart. The memories are still strong, though you've been gone so long. A broken tether, gonna miss you forever. The memories are still strong, though you've been gone so long. A broken tether, gonna miss you forever.
Everyone, and welcome to UK Valorant. I am Yingsu Collins, and I'm back again on this very, very hot and but fine Thursday evening. I do hope it's raining where you are, because I've literally been sitting by my window praying for rain for the last 24 hours. This is the UK University Championship, presented in partnership with the Newell. Now, tonight, we bring you the immovable objects versus the unstoppable force. This might be my favorite and the fiercest, and coincidentally, the most friendly rivalry we have at UK Valorant. That's right, Team TBD will be finally be playing Reading Knights in our playoffs bracket. It is the penultimate round of the lower bracket. But before we get into all of that, I just want to remind you that we are here every Thursday evening from 7:15. And if you want to keep up with the uni scene a bit more, and you want to check out some other tournaments, I do recommend you go watch the Newell's one every Monday evening. But that is enough from me. Let me bring you in your lovely casters for tonight. It's Hanno, who's back for a second week in a row. And we also have Dor, who seems to be reporting from Buckingham Palace. So, I mean, I know we've got the Knights playing tonight, Dor, but you're straight up just chilling with the Queen right now.
Pretty much. I mean, I figured as an American, the only way to really take in the entirety of UK culture was to fly over here. And, you know, COVID aside, got the private jet online, you know, my pilot was being a little bit ridiculous today, but we got here on time.
Yeah, I mean, and we only managed to get one reading out of you today before we went live. So that's all the readings you're going to get tonight. So don't be offended, Reading fans. And how are you doing, Hanno? You're looking very blue.
Yeah, it's a little bit of an odd setup here, but I'm not a greater background as Dor over here. You know, I think we've got the better end of the deal of this this stage behind you. But no, yeah, I'm looking forward to these games tonight. Some big players to look forward to.
Yeah, let's just talk about that. So as I said in my intro, that this is kind of somehow have become a rivalry, even though these guys haven't actually played each other yet in the playoffs round. They have played each other in other tournaments. In fact, they played each other on Monday night, and Reading came out on top. So, Dor, do you reckon that this is going to be a bit of a deja vu situation, and they're going to come out on top again tonight?
I mean, we can go over the team's history all we want, but I think it's time we go over my history. Because I have cast Reading Knights for their past 3 games. They have not dropped one so long as I have been on. So I'm not rooting for them, but I will say somehow I've ended up on their team. And I think that only gives them a leg up.
Yeah, I mean, that's a really, really impressive stat. And I do think, you know, there is such a thing as a caster's curse, and I feel like maybe now we've acknowledged it. It might sort of turn their fortune around. One of the big things that we do have to talk about is the fact that they don't have Juma tonight. Juma is, I've been told, whether this might be a meme, because I got this information from Twitch chat, but supposedly he is on holiday with his girlfriend. Hope he's having a lovely time. I'm super jealous. But he was a really, really impactful player the times we've seen him play in the playoffs. So Hanno, how big of a loss do you think this is? And I just want to say that we do have Gisele who will be standing in for him tonight.
Yeah, well, personally, I'm not sure of the capability of Gisele, so it's going to be interesting to see what he can bring to the team. Obviously, Juma, as you said, big loss, so it's going to be hard to gauge the impact. But again, they're a strong team, so I reckon they should be able to, you know, they've known, I think, for a while that that Juma was going to be away. So hopefully they've prepped a bit, hopefully they brought Gisele up to scratch, and hopefully it shouldn't impact their performance too much. I'm expecting, you know, a strong performance from Reading, as Dor says, but
okay, you're both only allowed one reading.
One reading, yeah. Is that all? Is that
That's
all?
it, you're only allowed one. Yeah, you've done yours now. You've done yours, yeah.
Fair enough, fair enough. But yeah, it's hard to gauge because we're not really sure of Gisele really here. But obviously, Team TBD, York had last week, if everyone in the Twitch chat saw, they went through to the finals. So Team TBD, they're looking to replicate the success of last week from their first team. So we'll see how they can do that. Haven't watched them.
Yeah, no, sorry, I cut you off.
I haven't watched them too much myself, Team TBD. Obviously, that Oi Oi team looking really, really strong. But we'll see if Team TBD can live up to the first team.
I mean, all York final will be quite spicy, but I mean, these two teams, there is a reason why they're in the losers bracket, you know? I mean, they have done really well in the losers bracket, but they did both get knocked down in the first round of the playoffs. They are still the 3rd and 4th seed, and obviously the 2 teams that are left in the competition, Rukit and Oi Oi, are seed 1 and 2, so there is some sort of validity in terms of these seedings. But given the fact they are seed 3 and 4, how close do you guys think tonight's games will be? Are we going to see a 3rd map? Dor, I'll come to you.
I think it does go late, and for one reason, really. I think this series entirely relies on which team can last longer. We know very well, I know very well, that Reading are a team that come out of the gate swinging with everything behind them. They've got tricks up their sleeve, they have angles galore. They will catch you off while you are warming up, and if you can't get back up on your feet after that, you're in a world of hurt. TBD, though, another team that is very, very strong individually. Just look at Doc Broda, the guy's insane. They'll do the exact same thing, so a lot of it is going to come to these early blows, so you can take the lead, and then whichever team can make that little bit of energy go longer than the other, I think is going to have a significant advantage in the matchup, because this is going to be an explosive one straight off the bat.
I know we've spoken quite a bit about Reading, but also just want to touch on TBD, the fact that, you know, Reading lost to Warwick in that first round of games that sent them to the losers bracket, but TBD actually beat Warwick last week to get here. So, you know, by that logic, are we maybe sort of underestimating TBD? What do you think, Hanno?
Maybe. Again, I think Dor just said it could go for a long while, but I've got my eyes on this this York team is losing this really. I don't know if they're going to be able to make it. I think it, again, as I just mentioned, does probably depend on that sub, because if they have a player that has the same impact as Juma, I think probably Reading will take this, and I reckon it's just going to be a 2-game series. I don't think it will go to 3. I think if Reading, as Dor says, comes out swinging, if they win that first map, then I reckon they'll keep up the momentum and win the second one and take it. But yeah, I mean, it's a hard one to say. I haven't got a huge amount of information personally off these two teams. Obviously, Dor, you've cast them a lot more, so maybe I should be going more in favor of this more even matchup that you keep talking about. But I don't know, from a gut instinct, from recognizing a couple of these players' names, I'm leaning towards Reading here pretty heavily.
I mean, before we sort of solidify our predictions, I just want to inform you guys that the maps have been chosen, and I believe the first map will be Haven. So Dor, with that information in mind, do you still sort of stick to your initial sort of reaction of it being quite close, or do you think one team is going to maybe take this first map head on?
I think a lot of it comes down to when Reading start off on, whether they start off on defense or attacking side. Trying to see if we have that yet, but I am not certain. They're starting off on attack, which I think puts them at a bit of a disadvantage. Normally, on a map like Haven, you do want to be starting off on attack. It's a decently sizable advantage, but Reading are a team that will always benefit from coming out on defense because they have so many different ways they get aggressive. They push literally every single round somewhere on the map. You just have to figure out where and whether or not they're going to catch you off. But all of a sudden they lose that momentum. They're not going to be able to come out the gates nearly as hard. This opens up the gates for TBD to come in and sort of make a mark on their own on the match before Reading get the opportunity to. So I think that makes this a much closer deal. And so this first one, again, going to be setting the pace for the entirety of the day.
Okay, well, let's just get those predictions going. Again, I say this every week. You guys are going to think I'm a broken record, but I am the 5th consecutive champion of the predictions segment here. So I feel like, you know, the longer a record goes on, the more likely it is for it to be broken. But at the same time, I feel like I do have a bit of bragging rights. And maybe the teams are sort of blessed by my vision. So I'm gonna go first on this one because I have a sneaky feeling that all 3 of us might actually predict the same team. I mean, I know that Reading are without Juma, but given how they played on Monday and just sort of given how they played this whole tournament so far, I feel like, you know, this does suit them. And I don't think it's going to be a sort of 2-0 like Hanno said, but I do think it's going to be 2-1 Reading tonight. Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to go for. What about you, Dor?
I actually am going to mix things up. I think seeing Reading on the attacking side starting, it genuinely matters that much to me that I have to hand it to TBD. Reading are going to lose a lot of their momentum early on in the series by not getting that early defensive side. A lot of the weight, though, will go on to, I believe, Prophet, who last time they played, we ended up interviewing him, and what they ended up doing was to counter their lack of momentum later on in the series when they started running out of steam, like we said so many times. Prophet took over the comp, Prophet started IGLing, and that led to a lot of success for them. So that might be the one way back into it, but until they prove that they can do that on a repetitive basis, I think I have to hand this match over to TBD.
But you've never seen Reading lose.
I know. I'm looking at this, it's a gut feeling just as much as Hanno's prediction is. Maybe I call them reading a couple times, they get mad and then go win a game, but who knows?
Oh wow! I mean, this could be something else.
It's 2-1 though. 2-1. No matter who's winning.
Okay, we're both going 2-1. Hanno, I think you're pretty sure that it's going to be a 2-0, right?
Yeah, you know, after that pretty epic of a series we had last week, I don't think we can get something of that length out of these any teams in these tournaments again. So I'm going to go with a 2-0. I reckon Reading will take it, but again, I think it's probably pretty heavily on that momentum, as Dor was saying. Like, if Reading loses it quite heavily at the start there, then it might be difficult for them to come back in, and we could face a 2-0 for the other side. I reckon it will be a 2-0. I'm going to go initially with a Reading 2-0, but I think it's very based on momentum. Whoever wins the first map, I reckon, will take the second pretty swiftly.
I mean, we've also, besides the fact of Haven, we also have the other 2 maps, which will be Bind and then Split. And the Dor, you're going to hate to hear this, but Reading are attacking all 3 maps first. So they're attacking first on Haven, Bind, and Split. Are we still sticking to our predictions, guys?
I'm sticking with it. I don't think it's going to matter that much past the first map. The second and third are more so a battle of attrition for these teams. And TBD is a team that I haven't gotten to see all that much. I'm not sure where their momentum kicks in, whether Doc Brodo wants to come out of the gate swinging of course, a very notable player here for them, being incredibly strong on a number of agents. But being on the defensive side, that might also stunt TBD, who are likely an aggressive team.
Okay, well, all that is left is for us to actually find out if we're going to be right at the end of today's series. I'm super, super excited, and I believe the players are ready. The first map is Haven, and I'll hand this over to your brilliant casters. Take it away, boys.
Thank you so much, Yinsu. Now it is me from the Buckingham Palace and Hanno to bring you the first map. Haven will be our pick. Hanno, what are some of the things that you're really looking for teams to take advantage of on the big open map itself?
Well, again, I mean, it's a bigger map, you say 3 bomb sites. Talked about it a lot before, but with Reading starting on that attack, that's going to be very, the momentum is very much in their favor at the start. It's all dependent upon what they do, what they choose to do, how they're going to pincer these sites. And that, I think, is what really brings down Haven for teams, is how well they can start off with their attack, how they can take control of the map. And I want to see some pretty heavy map control from Reading. Like, you've been talking about being pretty spontaneous on the defense and taking stuff. I want to see that on attack as well. But I also want to see some convoluted strats. I don't know. I'm sick and tired of seeing fake A, go B, because I've seen quite a few teams recently resort to very similar strats round over round. And I'd like to see some variety from this team as well.
I think you're in for an entertaining match. These are two of the fastest rotating teams we have at UK Valorant. We know they will play Ring Around the Rosie with each other pretty much every round if given the opportunity. Now let's take a look at these agent picks, guys. There's one in particular that's really surprising me right now. The Reyna is being picked by Reading.
Reading have picked a Reyna. Yeah, that is true. That is not a usual pick for a team comp that well, for a team-based comp, but maybe they have an absolute god aimer in Ego Peak there. I mean, I've heard he's got the skills, but I guess we're going to see if we can observe that in this game.
And again, no surprises here. Doc Brodo on the signature Brimstone. The ciphers, though, I do want to keep an eye on. Where teams put their cipher can put a lot of weight on different sides of the map. Of course, putting it on A is nice. You can cover both of those entrances, but it's fairly weak should they get rushed. But Reading this run, they're going to take it a little bit more laid back.
Yeah, we're going to see not a huge amount. Oh, no, a lot of aggression actually up the C long position there. That smoke going down is going to delay them a little bit.
With the Reyna, they can throw the Leer out. It's going to catch everybody. Sidelines backing around the Radiant box. Does get caught out eventually by Amredi, who takes down 2 heads at once here. The Roomba picks up 2 from Udoku. Oh my god, in an instant. Oh, they're swept right off the point. One player left here for Reading. Just the Cypher sneaking around the side of the point, half HP to his name, finished off by Rith, and a round that looks so good for Reading. I mean, it was swiped away just by a tiny little robot. That's hard to watch, man. That was a rough one.
That was not good. Yeah, Reading, they're taking that site really swiftly, going straight through that smoke, getting that Reyna Leer out, which looked really, really nice for them, getting a couple of picks. And then, yeah, we just saw Udoku there, just chuck a little automated bot. And it got 2 kills. And then
top of the kill feed with that.
Top of the kill feed, yeah. And that's going to be the pistol round for York. That's a really nice start for them. They're going to be feeling pretty nice with that bit of utility working out for them.
No more charges.
Yeah, fairly standard A-hole here as well. It's going to be Reading poking and prodding. They're going to throw a lot of weight towards whatever side of the map they're going towards because they only have those pistols. It's no real surprise there. The question is, how fast do they rush this? Because if they should know that if there's a Cypher, it should be a lot more advantageous, kind of push in all at once. It's extremely hard for the Cypher utility to abuse more than one person at a time, but they're also really, really scared of those Spectres, and they have to watch their back now.
They certainly do. Yeah, a lot of commitment towards this A long position. I guess they have got Prophet behind at the back. They're watching for a flank. But yeah, they're going to go for this execute here now. Sage Q coming down, and they're going to challenge Rith on the corner. Rith going to take down Ego Peak, but Giselle gets the trade. These pistols and SMGs doing a lot of work on this A site. They're going to get the spike down. That economy is going to be really nice for this team.
Already a fantastic round for Reading. Couple of players, though, from TBD. Remember, there's still Spectres on the other side. Still Ghosts, still some armor. It was a very scary round. They're all moving in on the same side. But Silverfang goes down before the wall can go up. Trading 1-for-1 here is fantastic for Reading. Couple of shock darts to make sure the damage is down. But a crossfire here is deadly from L. The flash catches both of them, though. Opens up the doors for Megalodon to come in. Throws down the hot hand. The spike looking to be defused here. Has to wrap around. Maybe just trying to hold on to that Spectre. Darts in, tensions rising, 1 versus 1 here. He's holding it. Peeks the angle, takes down the final man. 3 kills, 1 round, and 1 clean retake here from Megalodon. Later, TBD, York have put themselves up 2-0.
Yeah, that is looking nasty. Megalodon with the real nice triple kill, as you say. But yeah, Reading there, I'm surprised. They were able to get onto site there pretty quickly. They picked off Rith, only getting, you know, it was a trade, but that wasn't great considering the investment that Reading obviously, sorry, that York put into that round. With those SMGs, Reading only with a couple of ghosts there, able to pick them off. Yeah, a lot of economy damage done, but obviously we're still going to get some sort of a buy out of this York side. It's not as nice as that Reading one, though. If you see, there's 5 rifles. They're looking nice with all of that gun and
No,
fire
I mean,
power.
statistically, that was a fantastic round for Reading. Even if you don't win it, you took 4 guns, got a spike plant. Your economy is looking great. TBD, look at how aggressive they have to get. They're looking for some cheeky kills here.
Not going to find much. They got to spot Megalodon in this corner. Otherwise, he could be a real issue. He's going to pick off 1. He's going for the second. Gets her low, but it is Reyna. She is going to heal up. But the Sage Q is going to come down and delay that push. These guys stuck in this C-long position. Nothing much to do here.
No, they don't really have time. Pwapwa takes down 1 more, though, and that's what you need to open up this site. They've got so much map control. The Cypher wrapping around the backside here. Rith could make things incredibly awkward, but Prophet goes down as well in Garage. A lot of the map control has been lost here for Reading.
Yeah, we're going to see... Gonna go A-long here, but they didn't spot the player in the corner there, and this Cypher is going to get a lot of information and a couple of frags. Hopefully he picks off the Sova there. Poi pushing onto the site, but he's being flanked by both these players. He should not get this spike down.
1v2, looks for the plant, turns it into a 1v1, knows the last man's there, but Doc Brodo doesn't miss with the Bucky. Takes off his head, puts a 3rd round on the board, and that was incredibly important for TBD. This is going to be not an economic boost. This is an economic slingshot straight to the top.
Yeah, I mean, the TBD side there, starting off with a pretty weak buy. I mean, Doc Brodo having a Bucky there, that's not what you want in the 3rd round of the game after such a dreadful 2nd round for them. But yeah, they're still able to pull it off. Reading with 5 rifles couldn't break it onto the site. And yeah, you're gonna have a booming economy, as you say. Reading gonna be on these sheriffs, gonna be wishing they had won that round. And a little bit of a split here up into the sea. But yeah, Yaduku gets a pick on long. And that's gonna be the round. Pretty much over for Reading. I don't think they're gonna be able to do much here.
No, I mean, the one thing Reading know now is that there's an operator on that end of the map. That makes things scary. They want to go through Garage. They're likely to get mowed down by Doc Brodo, who effectively calls this his home. 1 peek, 1 kill. Ego Peak comes and lives up to his aim, trying to get his hands on that Vandal. Not quite able to, but a kill is a nice consolation prize. They make their way around to C, get themselves a 1. This is looking a lot better for him than it was initially. Operator still up, still strangling for the tap onto the head. Does not want to take that duel after seeing what happened to his teammate. Spike gets planted here for Reading. This is already a profitable round. That Roomba so scary. Reading having nightmares of that one. Does it catch out another player? Absolutely it will. That is low HP for them. Silverfang, though, looking to end it. Operator shots and a wall are going to finish this one off for TBD. A round they were set to win, but nonetheless, Reading get a good bit of value out of it.
Yeah, Reading again, making it onto that site, getting the spike down, but not able to close the round. Obviously, they did only have sheriffs that round, so they weren't expected to win it. But again, they're taking a lot more than York should be giving them here. They are managing to get these picks that York just shouldn't be giving them, and they're getting close to these rounds. And I reckon, hopefully, with this being their 2nd buy round here, with 4 rifles and an operator on Ego Peak there, they should be getting on site and hopefully have a really solid chance of starting to pick up some rounds. So they're already 4-0 down here.
Yeah, that's the thing. This is kind of the critical point for Reading. We mentioned they're a team that has to come out with momentum, but they struggle to do that on the attacking side no matter what map it is. They're already a serious economic disadvantage. 4 points is not insignificant by any means. Doc Brodo getting a frag early as well. Things are really falling apart here for Reading. There you go. That's your one.
That is, yeah, 100% right there. Doc Broder going down. Sorry, the Sage there going down for Reading. Doc Broder getting the pick. It's going to be really, really nice. But, yeah, Reading, on their buy rounds, they seem to do worse than their ecos. But, yeah, we're going to see Profit get a pick there. So that is the trade for Reading. They are now going to have an even Stevens matchup here. 4 against 4. And they have a lot more ults than this York side. Potentially, they should be looking at getting onto site pretty easily with what they've got. But Doc Broder going to take the fight and get the kill through the wall.
Goodness.
But Poi Poi going to get the trade with the Phantom there through the wall as well. That's some nice wall hacks there from the team.
And this is a really good opportunity for Reading. They're not quite taking advantage of it, though. The map's been cut in half. They need to move quickly or else they're going to get shut down again. Megalodon with 2 quick ones on site, holding on to that corner like his life depended on it. 1 versus 3 now for Ego Peak. Star player here for Reading has popped off on the arena many a time. Dragging Agent inbound. Can't do it on the operator. Wrists around the corner. Another round of the board for TBD, and things only get worse here for Reading.
Yeah, this is not looking good. I was hoping they'd be able to bring some, you know, real quick aggression, some real good momentum out on this attacking side, but it turns out they're not really able to do it. They have got all 5 ults up here, but they're not going to have the buy to really capitalize on that. They're going to have Sheriffs again and a little bit of armor spread out. But yeah, this York side looking pretty with plenty of money. Rift there with 6 and so 6k credits. He hasn't decided to buy armor this round, but maybe that's a little mistake there.
A little bit of an oopsie from their side. Doesn't matter, though. It's evened out by Yoduku. Getting another one with this operator early. 2 picks found. Pwapwa able to trade out 1 more here in the middle of the map. But pure unadulterated aggression from York so far. 1 player waiting outside the smoke. Couple of sprays through. Gisele lucky to get out with his life. Lands another one. Trying to make these numbers as close to even as possible. But it's only him. Gonna try and pick up the Vandal. Do a little something with it. Maybe some magic tricks comes out here. But you can't be expecting too much from the substitute.
For sure. I mean, he's not doing terribly on this team, but the fact that his whole team is dead, he's put in a 1v3, it's not his fault. We're looking at a pretty weak start to this half from the Reading side. They're going to be down 6 rounds. I don't think this Sova on such low HP is going to be able to do anything here, especially with that Cypher, with that Sage ult up for the York side. They're going to have a massive advantage. But they're going to take a fight there. Rift's going to pick him off. And that's going to be the 6th round. Now, this is a very strong start from the York side. Like, do you think they could make this a 12-0 half?
I don't think 12. I think Reading have to sneak in around here or there eventually. They're a team that's valuable enough that they can actually come in and get a pick or 2 here and there, maybe open up around that way. But I mean, I told you guys before the match, they are so based on early momentum, and they are such a defensive-sided team that a start on a just isn't enough to get you through those early rounds and get that ball rolling. I'm looking at Profit to try and take control of this game, put a little bit of a wrangle on their side so they can start winning these rounds. But if they keep giving up early picks like this, there's not a chance in the world for them.
Yeah, that is correct, because you keep talking about their fast momentum, and they're doing it, and they're just getting killed first, and that is not good for them. They're going to get a res out, though, so we are going to see the full Reading side alive for the 2nd time this round. Ult's going to come down onto the back of that C site, and they are going to get York's Phoenix at the back there. That's big. They're not capitalizing just yet. They're going to fall off. They might run into this Cypher on A long.
Yeah, it's good peel there by Doc Broder to get them in, stop the push. Now, though, mid's wide open. They've caught the rotate out. There's a Cypher in behind him. Rith is in a pretty good position here, but not nearly good enough. Catch the Cypher out. They see the tripwire has been broken. That's going to prompt the rotation over to A. This is what I was talking about earlier. You can expect Ring Around the Rosie, pure site control. But what on earth have they done? They give up B control. They get the spike down. They've moved out the other side. The one person who can really clutch this one out is going to be Profit, who's wrapping all the way around through the defender spawn. 3 people sieging onto the site here, looking to pick him off. Ego peeking himself a nice 2-piece, though. Shuts down that flank. A fantastic position here for Reading to try and get 1 onto the scoreboard. Profit from the flank takes down 2, and that should be enough to seal out the round. Just 1 player left. Doc Brodo against the world cannot do it. Let's Ego Peak get a 3rd, and finally put Reading on the board.
Just as I talk about having York having a clean half there, of course Reading Ghost picks up their very first round. Typical, but that is going to be nice for them there. Yeah, 6-1. They are down, but they are not out. They've got plenty of time to get this momentum and kick it into gear. You know, that's the first one. We could be looking at 5 more. Or we could end this half even Stevens, but yeah, that flank coming out from Rith looked like it was really going to end their chances there. But then the Reyna ego peak with the double just a couple seconds later was absolutely massive, and that was brilliant individual play, and also I think a bit of a lack of checking their angles from York there.
And that's the kind of thing that Reading looked to capitalize on pretty much every single time. It's when you don't check your angles, it's when you're not playing clean. But same with Doc Brodo. Once there's spoke 2 HP to his name, though, yeah, you're not getting out of that one alive. That was a little bit too greedy. Yeah. A couple more players, though, a dead even game is always going to be better for the attackers.
Yeah, that is true. You know, especially on a 3-site map, they're going to be spread out.
What is that drone doing? That is not how that works.
that's not how drones work. What? Well, we shall continue. Yeah, York's gonna be spread pretty thin here. That Cypher is right up close on A long. That is scary, but he's done it several times now. I think Reading's gonna expect this.
And yeah, with their Cypher being pushed up as well, he's going to be there to catch off the rotations. This one player needs to get at least 2 to slow this down enough to call it successful. Waiting around the corner. Do they check it? Catches one, can't get another. Speeding onto site now. Reading have to step on the gas pedal. They need to make it onto A. The Cypher's already there to cut off the rotation. This is a fantastic position for Profit to be in. Could catch out 1 or 2 before the spike goes down. No aggression, though, from TBD. They step on the brakes just a little bit. As the shots ring, though, Gisele finishes off Silver Fang Yodoku. Looking to throw in the Roomba over top. Not much to be found, though, beneath him, as this site has been really well locked down by Reading. Megalodonger trying to clutch it out again, though. Does he catch Gisele? He will. Paint shells thrown in all too late here. 2 versus 2 on site. Finds a shot onto Yodoku, and that is huge. 1 versus 1, but the position's there for Profit. Finishes him off and puts a second on the board for Reading. They're finally getting a little bit of that steam back. You know, it seems like they're feeling themselves here.
Yeah, they're starting to be a little bit more confident here, especially, well, even the York side is there. The Doc Brodo peek out middle there, getting traded out. Again, it's such a massive advantage for Reading to only be worried about really 1 person on each site there. With only 4 players, York can't really reliably have 2 people on the sites they want to hold. So, yeah, I mean, even this Rith push, he's done it, I think, 4 rounds now in this half. And that is starting to get predictable. So, yeah, Reading was very aware he was there. They were able to take him out. It was still a trade, but, yeah, that position, I think, should have been a lot stronger. And he could have done a lot more if he hadn't been doing it every single round this half.
Yeah, the next round's a lot more even, but not quite perfect here. The defenders look a little bit shaken. They're starting to rotate extremely heavily. You see they're throwing their weight around. 4 people to one side of the map at a time. And I think Reading have kind of got a good read on this. They recognize that the Cypher or the B side has pretty much always been open after they put a little bit of pressure onto C. And TBD haven't changed up their game plan at all. The middle of the map's still open. The Sage is the only thing between Reading and a spike plant. The wall there to cut the site in half. The spike should be going down. There's nobody on their flank. There's a fantastic round so far, unless Silverfang has something to say about it. Takes down 1, evens up the numbers, though. Doc Brodo in on the flank. Just this to his name. There's in a Molotov for good measure. And again, Megalodonger, this guy doesn't get individual kills. He only gets them 2 at a time. Looking for another. Doc Brodo flying in with a judge. Finds Gisele. Only the spike left now for Reading, and that's a consolation prize they're not going to be too happy with.
Yeah, the problem with sieging that B site there is that it is just so open, and Reading just got picked off from all angles. Doc Brodo from behind, they weren't even looking for him, really. He chucked a molly, and they still didn't really turn around to face him. So, yeah, that's going to be unfortunate for the Reading side. Going to be down 5 rounds. They are going to have the ult advantage here. Maybe they can make something happen. The Cypher ult can be really, really nice, especially late round to get some info. And that Sova ult, it can be used to get a pick, which is definitely something they need to get, especially if they get it onto this A site, because this Cypher feels pretty lonely over here. He does push up quite a bit, and he does play this A site solo every round.
Yeah, Yodoku has been there a good amount of the time, but I honestly don't think it's all that important so far.
No.
Yodoku's pretty much rotated off every single time. You see the exact same thing, starting to pull away. They catch the Cypher out and long, though, and that prompts another rotation. Back onto A. Reading now have to go try and explore other parts of this map.
Yeah, they're going to head over to C-Long. Ego Peak has got that operator, though, so maybe he could get a nice pick here. Oh, smoke's off, though, so he's not able to see anything right now. But there are two players on the C site, and Yodoku is walking on over. He's going to be sitting in window on Garage, but Omaruti is going to be pushing up here, and all of his team right behind him. Going to get picked off from the side there. Ego Peak gets one. Silverfang gets Giseli there. Ego Peak. Yodoku gets two! That was a nice push from the Rays there. Wow, York pulling really far ahead here. Only 2 rounds left of this half. I think it's going to be a pretty dominant one from York here.
It's looking great for them. That was a round that Reading almost got away with. I mean, they walked into that smoke. It cleared. They were caught with their pants down, and they still came out trading out kills. Unfortunately, since they lost their sniper earlier on in the round, it ended up just going bottoms up and all topsy-turvy because you don't have that player to trade out, which is what Reading usually look to do. Now you're down weapons. You've got just Sheriffs in your hand. They can look for some of these shots again, and they're going to try and duel out Rith long. He's only got a Phantom to his name. Could spray down a couple through the cage, but they're going to need a little bit of help if this rush comes through from Reading.
Yeah, Rith has proven pretty strong on this A site, not really losing it that often, doing a lot of damage. But as the push comes in, he's going to spot them through the cage there. Going to get 2, looking for a third. He gets 2, or Yodoku gets 2 with the nade there. Going to finish off Reading with the ult there. That's a triple kill for Rays. And again, yeah, Rith proving really strong there. His utility and his spray there, able to take down 2 players the Reading push, which really halts that push in its tracks. And then Yodoku's able to clean him up with 3 quick kills. But although it's a nice round for York there, Reading is going to try and take this last round of the half, try and bring them up to 3 rounds out of a 12-round half. And they're going to be looking at, well, it's an alright buy. They're going to have the utility they want. They're not going to have any operators. We'll see what they can do in this buy round. Try and get the scores a little bit closer.
Yeah, this feels anything but good right now for Reading. Could put another one on the point, but oh, what a shot from Yodoku. I mean, another player down. Reading now can't just trade their way through the round. And this has been read beautifully by TBD. Every time the mid pressure is there, the opportunity for a C rotate is there as well. Throws down the molly, stuffs them right in their tracks. Now with very little map control, as well as very little presence towards mid here. Doc Brodo going to look to take advantage of it. Does decide better, though. Peeks right back, and Garage just going to take the information and go. And I like that Reading are taking their time here. Gives them an opportunity to go for the Resurrect. They could trade it out. They do. Doc Brodo gets caught way too big for his britches there in Garage. Now they can start to open up this map because they have that player advantage.
Yeah, I mean, the Reading side, with that revive out and the pick, they are looking a lot stronger than they were about 10 seconds ago. They've still got 2 ults up. There's only 1 for York. They're going to be pushing into this A site fast, but those Cypher cages are down. Rith going to do as much as he can. Going to take a revive onto Doc Broder there, but a player for York goes down straight away, and Reading is still up a man, holding this site with that Silver ult.
He
just killed his own spike planter. That is terrible for the Reading side. Such bad coordination.
God. I can't watch anymore. And you can get 1 here. There's nothing left for Already. Megalodon is going to take him down immediately. Yeah. That was about as disastrous as things could go. I can't imagine a worse way to lose a round.
Reading, pressures must be getting to them. Like, yeah, that Soverall going straight onto his spike planter, just completely throwing the round. That is so unfortunate for them. But yeah, you're going to be ending this half 10-2. Now, I don't know if you watched the games last week, but we had this exact same scenario. It was a different map, but it was 10-2, and the opposite team then took it back with another 10-2 half, and we went 12-12. And then we went on to be an 18-20 game. So, do you think it's going to happen in this game? I mean, Reading, they do have this momentum. You say they're a really strong defensive team. If they start this half well, do you think we could be looking at overtime?
Absolutely. I mean, this is going to be their best side. Earlier on, though, in the half is definitely when we find everything out. Whether they come out with that same aggression, whether they have the confidence to play their game again on defense after being shut down so much in the previous half will tell us a lot. They've got a heavy stack, though, towards C. A lot of players on this side of the map, but only 1 properly on the side. He catches Dogs through the smoke! Looking for 1 more here. He will get it. A beautiful trade there by Giseli, holding onto the site on his own. Plenty of players for the retake, but keep an eye on Rith here towards the center of the map. Could look for more kills. Pwapwa shutting them down, not giving him any angles. A 2 versus 1, in fact, taken by Ego Peak, trading out. Now 4 versus 2 here on site. Make that one as Prophet takes down Yodoku. One player and a Dream sitting outside long, smoking in their way. Not much you can do. The Sage spotted out through the smoke. Ego Peak picks up another one to pad the stats. And the first round of the board on their favorite side. Reading are starting to look a little bit better after that.
Yeah, well, I'm not going to call out the overtime drum just yet, but yeah, we could be looking at a nice, well, an improved half here from Reading, because that's their first round already down, and with only 2 from the previous, any more is going to be nice for them here. But yeah, obviously the second round should go to them. It should be a given because, sorry, yeah, York here not looking to bring out much of a buy. Obviously, second round you don't have that. That's a nice pick there in that replay there. Just only getting 2 is really massive for that at Reading side.
Yeah, it shuts down the push entirely. The ghost in his hands has looked really good. And honestly, as a substitute, as someone who came in for Juma, those are some big shoes to fill. But already, holy cow, they go storming onto the site, rushing in with the shorty stock. Photo picks up 1, but Prophet trades out 2 yet again. What I want to see Reading do, press on the brakes right now. Let them use their utility, let them come in, waste a lot of their stuff, and then come in with your better artillery and use it to your advantage. However, the leader comes out, they run straight into the sidelines, trading each other out 1 for 1, but Giseli, again, this guy and a ghost are just a match made in heaven, cleans up this site beautifully for Reading. They're going to walk in, defuse that spike, and put another round on the board.
Yeah, I mean, York did manage to get onto that site, and they did manage to get 2 picks. They did manage to get that spike down, right? That's quite a lot of economy damage. But again, yeah, Giseli there, shutting down any chance they had at doing any more damage with a couple of nice kills with that ghost. And yeah, Reading gonna double their scoreline only 2 rounds into this second half, so be feeling good there. Like, I mean, obviously this round is gonna be the testament, I think. If Reading can take this round against the York full buy with Phantoms and Vandals, this could be incredibly strong half for them. Obviously, if York take this round, it's gonna be a lot of momentum in their way.
Oh, they have no clue what's coming for them. I mean, it's the first gun round for TBD, and they're about to get smacked across the face with a very aggressive Cypher here. I mean, how do you even predict this? If you're TBD, you think Reading's finally going to put on the brakes. You know, it's an even gun matchup. It's a bonus round for them. There's no way they go for this kind of thing, but every time, Reading are a team that will catch you off guard. But Yodoku is someone who's always going to find those first picks against you. Throws out the Roomba, the B-site control is there. Getting the spike down is so important for them. But with the map control maintained afterwards, it's going to be tricky to keep here. Reading, this is still possible for them.
It is, but Megalodon getting 1 there, so it's 5 versus 1. Yodoku going to finish them off. Reading not taking a single player there. Probably to be expected, because that bonus round, you know, those SMGs are nothing compared to the Vandals. And they're going to have the economy to bring out rifles of their own here. And they're going to have to start winning a lot more of these buy rounds into this York side. Because York only needs 2 rounds to close out the game. A couple of Reading players, though, if you see, pretty close to their ults there. Giseli and Prophet, only 1 point off. Still on the York side, so we could see probably early picks here might dictate the way of this round here, because that is going to be so important to getting the ults up early in the round.
Getting those ults online is nice, but maintaining this round lead is going to be even nicer for TBD. If they put this one to a 12th round, it's almost guaranteed to go all the way, because then you're looking at Reading, who only have pistols to their name. Things won't get pretty. This is a must win. I know it's 2 more until they lose the game, but as far as the economy goes, this is really it for them. Trying to hold on the defense. No cheeky moves here. They got caught out last time. They're not going to look to do it again. Poking and prodding, but TBD are really being passive here.
Yeah, I mean, they're probably expecting some kind of Reading aggression, because as you say, they are known for it on this defensive side, but they're not going to do anything special, and York's going to come straight into Garage here. They're looking for a C split right away here. Going to be stuck in the corner there. Giseli rotating pretty late there. Cypher gets a kill, Ego gets 1 there onto Megalodon. Doc Broder going to get Ego, and Yodoku going to get Prophet on the back of the site. This is a nice setup for York here. They've got 3 players all around the C site. Rith's going to pick off both the players from Reading there. That's going to be that 12th round that you just talked about. That is incredibly nice for that York side. They're looking at match point, and Reading would need 8 in a row to even hope at winning this first map.
And this is about to be miserable for Reading. They have no cash, no weapons. A Bulldog, you get a Marshall in there, a little bit of armor, you know, just a sprinkle of it for flavor. But all of that is just going to be eaten up by the Vandals and Phantoms that TBD have, or it should be, unless we see some stuff from Reading that we haven't before. They could look to get aggressive in certain spots. They could look to catch people out. TBD are having none of that. They're putting out aggression in their own right. 5 members headed straight in. Run it back from Megalodon. Are looking to get a little bit more than 2 kills this round. Makes his way in. Gains total site control here for them. We're looking at a 5v5 retake for Reading. Weapon disadvantage, but they've got a player on the flank. He comes in, picks up 2 with the Spectre. Profit does it as well. They're clutching their way back into this by sheer power of will. 1 player left on the site. They finished this round with 5 players alive. How the hell, Hanno, did they do that one?
Well, I mean, that's Reading. If they had that kind of performance in the rest of those rounds, we could be looking at a lot closer game. But York is still on match point. There's nothing Reading can do that's going to knock them off that right now. They're going to need another 7 rounds to get even close to winning this map. They have to go to overtime here. And obviously, if they can keep performing like they did last round, I mean, they were in such a disadvantage in that retake there, and they managed to pull it out of the bag with loads of Spectre kills coming out from a couple of their players there. That is the kind of thing that really York should not be allowing. But, well, they're still on match point.
I mean, that's classic Reading. Win the rounds you shouldn't and lose the rounds you absolutely should win. But Yodoku is having none of it. He wants to end this right here, right now. Finds himself a nice couple of early frags. Reading look to even up the numbers of it at least a little bit. The site's already been given over, though. The spike should be headed over as well. Megalodonger, way too aggressive there. Now the rotate has to come through. A lot of map control has been lost here for TBD. Although there are no players on that A site, they still do need to tread lightly.
Yeah, 3 players marching together onto this A site, and Reading is nowhere in sight. They should get a free plant down. They should be able to get great after plant positions. Obviously, this Reyna smoked off, not going to be able to push in straight up. And Doc Brodo does have that ultimate. That's really strong. He can lob that down on top of that spike whenever he wants. But Ego Peak and the Sova here, yeah, pretty of an awkward situation.
It's a great crossfire right now for TBD. They're playing this post plant just as well as every other. The orbital strike's gonna buy time. Doc Brodo peeks at just the wrong time, though. Gets found out, taken down. Gisele, the only man, the substitute, needs to clutch it out. Silverfang, though, holding the close angle, is gonna take him down and end things here for TBD. York take the first map of the series, 13-5.
That is a pretty strong scoreline for York there. Now, in the predictions, I did say it would be a 2-0, and I was banking on Reading getting that early momentum, but they really weren't able to pull it out this game. It was really surprising. Like, they showed their brilliance in a couple of those rounds. I think we both saw that. But yeah, they weren't able to convert that into any kind of momentum or round wins. You know, only 5 rounds. It's going to be disappointing. And hopefully, in the second map, they can recover a bit. But again, I did think it would be a 2-0. And I think the momentum that the York's going to have out of that game, the confidence that they're going to be feeling coming out of a 13-5, it's going to take them to a quick second map.
Yeah, like I said, I think that defensive first side matters so much. And now I realize it's not just for Reading. TBD plays the same way. Whenever they're on defense, they're pushing up. They're getting cheeky in different places. They're constantly on the flank for everything from retakes to just the beginning of the round. Yodoku is a monster early on in the round. And Reading are getting beaten by their own game. They're doing the exact same thing that Reading would have done had they started out on the defensive side. And you can see in the second half very clearly, they're so much more comfortable on the defensive side, but they've given their rights to that away for the rest of the series, which I think they're really going to be kicking themselves for. Ladies and gents, it's Reading back on the attack for map number 2 here in just a minute. We'll be right back.
They say that life's too short to be holding this tight. So why am I walking light? And in this world of light and color, I'm not afraid of the night. When this future's so bright, that I got all these friends and we're like, it's not the end. Whoa, this new world is ours. This new world is ours, and all these friends, and we're like, it's not the end. Whoa, this new world is ours. This new world is ours. This new world is ours. They say the life's too short, and I can feel in my bones the horizon is close now, now, now. And the world's been changing lately, but after the storm, we come out strong now, now. And I got all these friends, and we're like, it's not the end. Whoa, this new world is ours. This new world is ours, and all these friends, and we're like, it's not the end. Whoa, this new world is ours. This new world is ours. This new world is ours. And I got all these friends, and we're like, it's not the end. Whoa, this new world is ours. This new world is ours. And all these friends, and we're like, it's not the end. Whoa, this new world is ours. This new world is ours. We can rock with a rhythm. We can rock, rock, rock. We can rock with a rhythm. We can rock, rock, rock.
Welcome back to UK Valorant, everyone. We are already one in tonight's best of three. This is the Reading TBD rivalry fiesta that we've been waiting for. Okay, guys, I just have to address something that TBD won that 13-5. Throughout the entirety of the playoffs, Reading have never gotten that many number of rounds. Even when they lost to Warwick in the first round of the playoffs, they lost 13-8 and 13-9. This is quite frankly the biggest disparity that they've ever been in. So Dor and Hanno, what happened? What is going on with Reading?
I said it. I think it matters that much to Reading that they start on the defensive side. It is such a huge loss of momentum for this team. And I'd say the same thing about TBD. It is very likely that if they swap sides, we see the same exact thing come out from Reading. TBD showed aggression. They showed proactivity on the defense. They showed that it is definitively their stronger side. Their attacks were clean, but not nearly as much so. I think had this been different sides, we'd be telling an entirely different story. But right now, it's TBD on the defense for all of the maps, and that's going to be a serious advantage for them. Reading, however, I do think between these two teams, they have the most staying power, the most ability to draw their way back, and that's all on Profit taking a hold of these comms, really becoming a strong IGL. Like when we were interviewing them in the previous time we saw them, it was Profit talking all about how, okay, we fell behind. Normally we're kind of just all over. No one's really IGLing. There's no real structure to it. But when it hits the fan, when you're going down rounds, when you're losing steam, you need them to come up. And I think that's entirely what the second map is dependent on. I want to see a much cleaner attacking side. I want to see them get at least 5 on the board here for their starting side on Bind. Or else I think we may just watch the same map over again.
I mean, Hanno, you spoke briefly about, a possible comeback because you and I have seen teams come back from these situations before. God knows, with the extra OTs we saw last week. What do you think that Reading need to do to bring this back to 1-1?
Well, I think actually, as Dor was saying, that last map really opened up my eyes to how strong that starting that defensive side is, especially when both these teams play, looking for picks. They look at the very start of the round, they want to get something then that's going to give them the advantage. And if Reading doesn't change up that playstyle, which is going to be hard for them to do, I don't think there is a possibility they come back here. Now, I said in the predictions that it was going to be a 2-0, and I went with Reading, but I said it could be York. And that's what I'm expecting here, because as you just said as well, Reading, they've never been that far behind on a map before in playoffs. So they're going to be feeling the pressure here. And, we might see York capitalize on that, especially start on this defensive side. Reading's going to be unsure what to do. And if they don't change up their strat, if they're not, really well prepared in this bind, they could be going out in a swift 2-0.
I mean, we spoke quickly in the break that it was a testament to how much pressure is on Reading's shoulders because none of those players are in Twitch chat in the break because they love coming to the chat. Actually, I would take that back because they are in chat now. I think my favorite comment is from Doc Brodo, who literally came into the chat and said, Doc Brodo #1. From Brodo, and Profit is there. He's interacting with everyone. I think it's great to see. Just in terms of the players on that team, I know that Omariti is someone that we always look forward to seeing him play. He's so versatile. He's shown us what he can do, on the Omen and on a few other agents. But I personally haven't actually ever seen him play Sage. And do you guys think maybe they're sort of taking away one of their win conditions by putting someone like Omariti on the Sage? What do you think, Dor?
I really honestly wouldn't mind seeing something like a Sageless composition. Maybe not on Bind specifically, but anywhere else, this team could harness that aggression and pull out something different, especially with Omariti being so good on the Omen, like you mentioned. This team wants to play aggressive. You might as well embrace it at that point. I think that the Sage really hindered his ability. At no point did I see a wall that I was like, man, that was good, or at no point did I see a slow orb that saved them the round. Granted, they didn't get that many, but it's just not an agent that's going to be helping you do what you want. Yes, it's strong, but it doesn't back what your team's good at. So in that regard, no, I don't think I really like the Sage pick from Omariti.
I think I'd agree with that. I like to see them just embrace their play style and see what Omariti can do on Bind. Just before we get into that game, Hanno, Megalodonga and Yuduku were both super aggressive and really, really played their agents incredibly well. And their Haven, they popped off to put it sort of lightly. Is this something that you'd like to see them replicate on Bind? And how useful do you think it would be for them to play the Raze and also the Phoenix?
Well, we saw some pretty big kills from that Raze. I mean, even the first round. You just look at the first round, that double kill with that bot there that Raze threw onto that site. Like, that was so
Don't remind me.
impactful. That's going to have tilted the Reading side there just a little bit. Like, that should not happen. And if they keep, knocking them down like that with just some crazy amount of utility that just gets double kills like that, then Reading's not going to stand much of a chance. So if they do bring out that Raze, or you should say that Omen, obviously Killjoy is banned, so they can't bring out the Killjoy for some real crazy ults. But even a Jet, I'd like to see a Jet, because I don't know if you remember last week, we saw some crazy moves with Divine Aim on that Jet. So just some real strong, attacking characters here, offensive characters here, because again, Reading need to stick to their guns. I don't think Sage is helping them in their playstyle at all, as Dor said.
I've just been told that Yuduku is actually experiencing some internet problems. I hope it's not too serious, because obviously we'd really like to see him go play on Bind. But in the meantime, like you said, that the Jet will be a pick that we could see on this map. And obviously we already know that TBD will be defending first. So Dor, is this another one of those sort of games that you think is sort of leaning more towards TBD because they will be defending?
Absolutely. I mean, I think it's still an advantage here. Not as much of one. Reading is a team that can claw back. They gain more and more steam, and they gain confidence over time. It takes them a really long time relative to some other teams, but they can get it back. And I think they're getting a lot more comfortable on the attacking side. It's not like they had that many rounds on the defensive side to get comfortable over there anyway. So, I mean, you hop back into this one, you continue building on the theologies that you got that got you those couple of rounds on the first map, and then you start looking at a lot more even of a half. Like I said, if they want to take this map, I'm really looking for them to get at least 5 on the attacking side.
Well, I believe that Yuduka's internet issues have been fixed. Thank goodness. So now we can finally go into the second map, which will be Bind, and take it away, you guys.
Thank you so much, Yinsu, Hano. It is you, me, and a whole lot of brown here. Let's head over to Bind. Let's talk about what kind of stuff we want to be seeing. Of course, some really notable strategies on this map. So many executes, so many different ways that you can play, weighted towards the different sites. What do you think are the really, really key points of Bind?
I think, looking at a little bit of the last games, we saw Bind was a pretty contentious map. I think, starting on the attacking side on Bind is a little rough. But Reading will have a lot of opportunities here on this attacking side. Those teleporters give you a lot more flexibility in this map that you don't really have on Haven. Those 3 bomb sites, very easy to rotate those defenders through. But if they can try and get some nice fakes out, maybe they can't get those early picks. Oh, look at that on the.
God, I love our producers, Hano.
Well done. Good job, production team. That's great. We got Doc Brodo there calling himself the best player in the game. Not sure that's true, but we'll see how he does in this game, I guess, as we're going to be heading into the match. So we're going to see, well, Reading have only gone and done what we just talked about. That is a sageless comp out from them, and I think that's the correct choice for sure. They're going to have the Raze, Sova, the Phoenix. No Jet. I was hoping for a Jet, but no Jet today. But yeah, what are we thinking about this attacking comp here?
I love it. I think Sageless is definitely the way to go. Maybe an Omen in there would have been nice, but honestly, I don't mind the Raze Sova. You get yourself off the Raze, or off the Sage. You also get yourself off of the Reyna onto the Phoenix, which I think is a significantly better pick at this point in time. I mean, you can see how much that we saw the player from TBD doing on it, Megladonger, who's now holding here in Hookah. Things looking to get bloody, but stepping on the brakes are Reading, which just gives us a little bit more time to talk about what they want to do and how this allows them to get more aggressive.
Yeah, I mean, these agents, not champions, are a lot better.
It's hard, man.
to their style. We're going to see a little bit of contact here. Doc Brodo going to spot out 2, maybe 3 players there. Going to put a smoke down, but these 3 players rushing him straight back into lamps. These players at the back of site now, smoked off heavily. It's going to be a very tough retake here. Reading has full control, but the spike's going to go down there. Not going to get planted because the Silverfang gets him as he's planting the bomb. Doc Brodo, I think, it's between 2 players that gets 1 pick, looks for the spike planter, gets Omerity there. That is crazy stuff. And he's going to be looking for that player in lamps there to complete his set of kills. Prophet going to take him down, though. Yudoku going to get the trade, and that's going to be York picking up the first round. That looked mighty close there. Not going to lie. Really thought Reading got on the site very quickly.
And this is kind of how we can expect a lot of the rounds to go. The thing about a stageless composition is you are lacking in utility. Your post plant isn't going to be nearly as good, but you do have a lot of explosiveness getting onto the site. And I think TBD have done a good job of recognizing that, giving them a little bit of space to work with. And then the push through the smoke from Silverfang, I mean, that was just a work of art.
It worked so well, preventing that spike from going down, giving them a lot more breathing space, giving them so much more time in that round. But yeah, I mean, once Reading burns those, they have bought into this. That is an interesting purchase there from this Reading side. But again, all-out aggression from this side, so maybe it's to be expected. Going to push up this B long position straight into some Cypher traps.
It's going to get a little bit dicey as well. Not only are you running into the trap, but you also have just a stinger to be doing it with. Not too much damage to put out, although playing very passively is Rith. Has the camera, knows where everybody is. I'm not sure you want to do that one on Meridi. Take it down on the Rays, looking for more traded out. Megalodon are still here, and Hookah being a thorn in their backside, getting himself one on the way. Do they trade him out is a big question. Pwapwa absolutely will. That even number here, smokes everywhere, bullets flying. Giselle finds one, trades everywhere. One player left though here for Reading, and they can't clutch it out. Silverfang shuts him down, gets the defuse, and these rounds are going incredibly fast, Tenno.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about the aggression of Reading, and that's what's been happening. That first round, they looked towards B, and then they went straight up short, and yeah, it almost looked like York was going to collapse under the weight of that pressure. Then the second round, they just went straight onto that B site, pushing through those Cypher traps, not letting that stop the aggression. And, I mean, they still lost the round, which is unfortunate for them, but it is nice to see them really giving this aggression a go, because we know they're good at it, and if they can pull it off, and if they can make it consistent in this half, perhaps they'll have a lot better of a map than Haven.
That's what we kept saying in the last map, though, is my kind of issue with that. It took them 4 rounds to put any real threat up, and then even after that, it took more. I really need to see them come out, make a dent with these Sheriffs. Doesn't connect with the first shot here from Ego Peak. Flash their way back in. Smokes drop. The momentum completely halted here from Reading, but they didn't use too much utility on that, so I would say it's a good trade for them so far.
Yeah, for sure. That is going to be all right in this scenario. They haven't got a pick yet. They got, the Yorkside going to smoke off preemptively there, delaying the push that a bit more, but I think that Cypher's going to smoke. Megalodon taking a fight mid, not going to see anything, going to drop that hot hands down, so pushing the Rays forward. Omri gets the pick onto Megalodon there. That's a real nice one there. That Deagle proving too effective for that Yorkside to stop, but that player is on basically no HP.
Oh my god, that is close.
That Rays not going to do much else this round, I don't think.
You know, Doc Brito still thinks they're there. There's no way you got out of there by just scratching it. Barely avoids the sidelines. Now this rotation is pretty good. You've got them split up 2-2 on each side. The A is really open. However, the retake will be strong from TBD. One shot from these Sheriffs could open things up really well for Reading. Just need it. But Yodoku, again, buys an early operator, shuts things down. This push gets incrementally harder every time. Silverfang, again, with the Spectre, puts in work. Pwapwa able to find himself one more. Not a Frenchman, but I suppose honorary Frenchman, gets himself a little something, but to nobody's surprise, Reading are not going to be able to pick up this post-pistol round.
No, Doc Brodo there, I mean, holding the B site basically by his lonesome there against 3 Reading players. A real nice job getting the spike carrier through the wall there. That's going to feel pretty rough for that Reading side. It felt like they sold it there. I felt like they sold it, that A push. Doc Brodo didn't rotate though. Maybe he heard something or saw something we didn't. But it really did look like Reading was going for an A take. Pretty solid of York there, actually, too, not rotating. Oh, a little bit of a boost there. Look at that. That is nasty from that York side. Ah, wow. That is a little bit of abusive game mechanics, because boosting isn't really a thing in Valorant.
No, but it's a fairly common position to see people put in. Do they suspect it? Absolutely not. Yodoku from the high ground evens up the numbers. Is slower, stops the push entirely. Already will have a Roomba, gets caught out by another, though, running for their life. Nightmares from the previous one, in the previous map, but They should be able to get the spike down based off the smoke. Good push by Amarity around the side. Pincer maneuver is going to connect. Megalodon now needs to put out some serious numbers to clutch this one alongside Rift.
Only 2 players for the York side. If they want to keep their clean sweep of this half so far, they're going to need to kill all 3 of these Reading players. Sova does have the ult for the Reading side. A bit of contact here. Megalodon goes down. It's a 1 versus 3. Rith, the last man standing, makes it a 1 versus 2. He's looking towards that player in the cubby, and that player is actually peeking him. He is aware that there's one beneath him or towards that CT position. His teammate will have called that. He is very scared of being pushed from CT. Little does he know that the Cypher is actually underneath heaven. Yeah, that's going to be too long. Rith not going to have any time here to retake. That's going to be the first round for this Reading side.
And it shouldn't be enough cash for TBD to buy either. This is the best attacking position we've actually seen Reading in. I'll say that
yes,
much.
That is definitely true. Gonna have...
Now, with this economic advantage, they have a couple options, though, with this Hano, right? They can get aggressive, they can play passive, try and catch out TBD. What I expect, though, from TBD is for them to get hyper-aggressive. They haven't really done anything cheeky so far here outside of the Phoenix, maybe putting in a couple peeks in Hookah. I expect them to step on the gas pedal and look for that early pick that they've been.
We saw that on the Haven a bunch, and we haven't really seen that this game. So, yeah, I'm expecting them as well to change it up a bit. And we see that towards this long position here. Going to take a bit of a peek. Oh, they do spot out a couple of players there. No damage going to get put out, but yeah, that's a nice timing there to dodge that that fight.
Tempting fate, they still are. Megalodon, though, with the Sheriff is the hand of death itself. Finds 2, flashbang, looks for the 3rd, forces the Cypher off the angle, a little bit of spray, a little bit of Roomba to clean things up. Amarity gets 1 to trade it out, but TBD clawing around from the jaws of defeat. Just 1 more player to hunt down, and they are stuck in elbow. Do they know about this raise, though, is a big question. I don't think they do. Oh, they do.
Oh, they do.
Ooh, 1 tap from Doc Frodo ends things.
That is nice. I mean, both these teams with a lot of ultimates. Bit of a shame there that Reading, weren't really able to do anything that round. I guess they got that raise into that position ahead, but yeah, Megalodon, look at this. Just 2 headshots with just a Sheriff onto 2 fully kitted players, and then gets the 3rd onto Prophet there. That is disgusting. The amount of economy damage done from just an 800 credit buy is insane. Yeah, how can Reading really compete with that? But we're gonna see Yodoku in a bit of one of these weird spots he's been playing on this A site. Posted up there with that operator.
And this is another one of those ways. TBD is just going to continue to throw Reading off. And Reading would be doing this if they were on the defensive side. It's just changing up those angles. Doc Brodo willingly giving him... I mean, what did you expect to happen to Ego Peak? I really I don't know what he was thinking he was going to do there. He thought he was doing something cool. Chalk darts could make this a little bit dicey, but Rift finds 1 on a Prophet. Another kill down. Reading, before they even get to look at a site, they're down 2 players to 5.
Yeah, this is not what you want to see on that Reading side. Omarity is going to get a frag there, but that's more of a consolation prize than anything. Does get the Vandal, looking to spam through the wall, not going to hit it, left on 15 HP. I don't think this Ray is going to be able to do anything. Yeah, Sylvain kills him with a classic from behind. This Reading team is being pulled apart. They don't seem to have a chance right now. Even on full buy rounds, well, Ego Peak jumping through a smoke with a knife was a little bit concerning. But the rest of his team still got picked apart, no matter what. With only 1 player going down for York, it's just really not what you want to see. This is not proving to be close rounds in the slightest. So I'm not sure how Reading's going to change up their style to win any rounds, let alone bring them close.
At least they have a couple of weapons here, but the one thing TBD have going for them is now the economy. They all have, I believe, at least 4K, which is absurd to think about. 5-member push, though, about to come through. Hooker, 4-member, pardon me. 1 out long. Megalodon in the same position he's played for the past, 5 rounds, and you don't check it. Oh, my God. He gets 2. The guy is incapable of finding only 1 kill. The orbital strike from Doc Brodo is going to stop them right in their tracks. Now 3 versus 4 with no map control to their name. Reading are basically forced to commit to this B site. throwing down whatever smokes they have left in the tank. The Sage's composition feels real bad later on in the round. They trade back too, though. Yodoku and Rith go down. Duckbroder, the only thing to really stop this push, taps down the recon dart. Coming to players popping through the smoke, looking to get traded out. Gets tagged by the operator. Gisele finishes things off. Now with the spike down 1 versus 3, Silverfang needs to pull this one out for the team, or else Reading might start building that momentum right back up. As things slow down here in the post plant, though, gonna try and just grab the operator and run. Not even the resurrect comes through. York are gonna see this round.
Yeah, York gonna go down there, so they're gonna be down 5-2. Reading getting 2 rounds where on Haven it took them all 12, the entire half to just see 2 rounds. Hopefully, we're going to see a closer half this time. You were saying, obviously, you want to get at least 5 on the attack, and they are getting there, but they need to pick up the pace a little bit. Reading going to be sitting pretty with 3 ults there. York still got 4, and they are going to have saved that operator, and obviously, you just mentioned that they're massive economy. They are not struggling for funds here. So they're going to be going straight back into this 8th round with a full buy, ready to repel this Reading team very easily. But one thing I do want to point out there is, as you say, Megalodonga is incapable of just solo kills. Almost every round here, even when he's playing the same spot 3-4 times in a row, he somehow manages to get 2 kills. And although that was the only 2 kills his team managed to get there, obviously Reading pulling it off with 3 alive, that just shouldn't be possible, especially playing the same position round after round.
Yeah, TBD are playing incredibly right now. Megalodonga, regardless of positioning, regardless of what Reading are doing, is finding a lot of success. Yodoku's back at it again, though, with those early round picks. Sights opened up by Reading pretty well. They lose a member on the way in. The room is going to save them. Showstopper thrown in, though. Doesn't catch much of anything, surprisingly enough. Yodoku traded out. Kills going the way of Reading. TBD need to put on the brakes. They need to play for the post plant where they have more utility, but they don't find that patience. That Molotov is just a moment too late as well from Duckbroder. Things get dicey. They can start stacking up players. Things get awkward now for TBD. They're going to have the space to move in, but it's the Rays that you really want to be watching right now. If they could shut everything down. Does Megalodon check this corner? Immediately to rush through. Great crossfire here, though, to trade it out. Already gets 2. Put the 3rd up. Rith, the only man to clutch out the round. They know there's someone inside that smoke, but there's no way you deal with the people in lamps here. Has to push through straight into the welcoming arms of Gisele, who finishes off the round. And what I would honestly say is one of the cleanest ones that Reading have put up on the board.
I would agree with you there for sure. Yeah, Reading here actually putting out a real nice site take, only losing, I think, 1 player on that push, which, is unusual for them, because normally they run into Megalodonga, who gets 2 or 3 of them. But no, that's nice. Taking that A site, only losing 1 player and taking 2 for themselves, putting York on the back foot, and, yeah, delaying them with their utility, leaving them with a very short window of time to try and do that retake. Reading also playing that after plant really, really well, not facing anything, playing it very safe, and just taking the round win for themselves, putting them 5-3.
And you're starting to chip away at that economy as well. I'm feeling pretty good about Reading. TBD have put up some impressive numbers, but they need to stop Reading from getting 1 more round. 1 more solidifies their economy. It makes things spiral out of control. Everything only gets worse here. And TBD are playing a lot more passively than we've seen them do in rounds prior. However, they expect Hookah to have not been given up at this point, which they would be absolutely wrong to assume. They need to rotate a couple more players over, because I don't think 3 is going to be enough to stop this. Megalodonga, though, in Gardens, could put a stop to the Cypher coming through and be a pretty good line of defense against everything. Oh my god! Look at the movement from this man! Sends himself flying across site, doesn't get much of anything for it, but 2 kills traded out either side. 3 versus 3 now on site are Reading. They've got the control they want. They found the person in Gardens. 2 versus 2 now as the spike goes down. The 2 A players, Duckbroder and Silverfang, come in for the retake.
That was masterful stuff from that raise there, but in this 2v2, I'm already going to spot them both out, get the quick headshot. That's 3 for him that round. But yeah, I think the real style play there was that double jump pack over the B site, straight into that CT smoke, which just completely screwed over the York defense. Rith was standing there, quite unable to believe his eyes as that raise went flying past him. He whiffed a bunch of shots. It's quite hard to hit a flying raise.
Let me teach you a little bit of American slang. That's what we call the schmovement.
The schmovement. I see. That is the, I mean, I haven't seen that much before in Valorant, but if that's the usual thing in America, then that's very impressive.
Oh my god, they have no clue this guy's in the smoke. How much value can he actually get, though?
He gets one.
Up at a 1.
Oh.
Okay, you traded out. That's reasonable for Reading. Don't quite check the smoke, but you know what? You're happy with a 1 for 1, especially now that, let's look at the more important thing, TBD are even on Sheriffs.
That's true. York put on the back foot here. Such a strong economy before, you wouldn't have expected this. Can take a bit of contact. That Sage is very low. Has popped the heal though, so he's going to be going back to, well, not quite full, but almost. Picks off Prophet there with a nice headshot. That could be putting York back in this round. Picks off the spike planter as well. That's a double kill for Silverfang from this position. Looking for the third. Ego Peak going to finally take him down. Yaduku going to get the trade there onto Ego Peak. Reading 1 player left, and York sitting pretty on 3. They only had Sheriffs at the start of this round, but they are looking to take a 6th round away from Reading here.
I mean, this is just obscene, the kind of things these guys can do with 1-taps. The Sheriffs have been devastating, and there's never a round that goes by where TBD aren't capable of winning it. Giselli, though, starts to even up the numbers, finds 1. Could get a second, no! Rith found a Vandal behind him, ends his life with his own teammate's weapon. 6-4, Reading are on their way to that half that we wanted out of him, but TBD have done a fantastic job of shutting that down. The economy for Reading is good enough to get him 1 more buy, though, quite possibly.
Well, you did say you wanted them to get 5 rounds, and they're sitting on 4 with 2 rounds left to pull this off. I reckon, and yeah, sitting nice, sitting with a much better position than Haven is going to put them in a lot better chance of actually winning a map here and preventing the 2-0 on the side of York. Yeah, some nice shots there. Those Sheriffs really strong for that Reading, sorry, for that York side.
Now things get dicey. Never mind, right? I thought it was going to be passive in this round. Megalodonger steps on the gas pedal, looking for 1, gets spotted out by the shock dart, doesn't check his corners, but does find out at least the fact that there is a raise there. All things said, kind of a quiet run at back. Now Reading have a good bit of map control to work with. They know the aggression's over towards B. The A players are likely to be pretty passive, but a heavy rotation here by TBD might just catch them off guard. I wouldn't be too surprised to see Reading run in and get caught out by a lot more gunfire than they were first expecting as well. The double angle in Hookah is going to make things really, really hard for them should they choose to go this path. They also have the opportunity, though, to go for a rotate through the teleporter. Oh my god, I think they're going to do it here, Hanno.
They actually might. They are all grouping up towards this long position. This could be a massive play, but they have rotated Dog Broder back. Yaduku going to get a pick onto Ego Peak. I'm already going to trade. The push is coming out onto this B site, and Dog Broder was caught far back there on the A site. Rith going to get a pick, but I'm ready to get the trade. Pushing through into Elba there. That's really nice from him. But Megalodon's in Hookah, and he's picked off 1. 2 players. Omri gets a 3rd. Picking off Mega through the box there. 2 versus 1. Just Silverfang left. But both of those Reading players are low, and Silverfang does have a res and heal. He's got plenty to potentially pull off this clutch.
But he doesn't have the eyesight to check his corners, my friend. Already is going to end that one. 5th round on the board is what we wanted. Can they make it a dead even half, though, here? As I think TBD should be put onto not the greatest buy by losing that round.
Yeah, they're not going to have the rifles that they so desperately want coming into this last round. They're not going to get an operator. They're not going to get a full buy in the slightest. And they might be lacking in some utility as well, which is going to be very annoying, especially on this defensive side. When the attacking side has so much utility, they can force out the little utility that you have with those judges and everything. You're going to be useless without those gap closers.
Yeah, things get really rough here for TBD, but they still have pulled out rounds that we didn't think they were going to win before. We've seen what they can do with Sheriff. I'm surprised they're not just going for that anyways. Already finally checks that corner. Megalodonger is taken out of his favorite position on the map. These paint shells could do a lot of damage, though. Oh, he misses it. That's kind of sad to look at. Risto looks to trade 1 out, loses control of the spray. Then it's going to be taken down by Prophet. A strong B-take here by Reading, looking to put that 6th round on the board. A couple of players on the flank. Oh, this is going to completely ruin that. Doc Proto with the judge. Sneaks through. Does he check his left is the big question. Absolutely will, but Ego Peak's got some solid aim on him. Now it is only this Sage, who has not seen all that much action outside of a couple rounds at A in this half. Needs to try and clutch it, but I mean, just listen to all the things that are going on around him. He has no clue what's going on. A little shake of the crosshair tells us exactly what he's thinking and what he's feeling. This 1v5 does not feel all that hopeful. Profit proves exactly that. 6-6, all tied up heading into the second half.
Now that is very different to what we saw on Haven. Reading looking really nice and strong here, evening it up at halftime. And as we've said a lot before, they are really strong on their defense. They're really aggressive. And if they can beat York at their own game here, we could see a map 3.
And that's kind of the opportunity for them. Pistol round's going to matter so much. Give them a big advantage. Remember those 2 rounds straight off the bat. I mean, just an obscene advantage for whoever gets them. And TBD, to this point, haven't really had that. I'm looking at Gisele, who has been a fantastic replacement for Juma today. Is
some nice pistol kills
with a ghost. Exactly. Yeah. That's what I'm thinking. Coming into this round, whether or not Gisele pops off is going to set the stage for how the rest of this goes. TBD on the attack, though. How aggressive are they feeling?
Looks like quite a bit. They are going to get spotted out there as that arrow, once it's destroyed, is going to alert Reading that there are some players out of this long position. But look at B long there. Both of these players from Reading, as you said before, being super aggressive. They've got so much information here. They absolutely know this is going to be an A hit from York. See, there is that teleporter if they want to go through there. But yeah, York has been read like a book here. Reading is going to have all 5 players ready to counteract this take onto this A site. Those players in lamps forced off from that Roomba. Smoke's coming down. Bomb is getting planted.
Boombot's in. They're checking their flank, but they've gotten in scot-free, Hanno. That's where things get dicey. Even though you do have the flank, what you don't have is really all that great of a position on the site. Dr. Brodo and Yodoku holding their angles effectively. TBD now playing a little bit of defense here. Push through Amariti on an off angle. Finds 1, trades it out to make it 2 versus 2 here in the post plant. Do they know where the last players are? It's a big question. Doc Brodo on a pretty nasty flank here.
Yodoku gonna get 3 that round. That is pretty nice. York, though, picking up that 7th round. Well, we were hoping it was going to go to Reading. They did have a nice setup, but yeah, York didn't leave their flank exposed. They did turn around. They made sure they were keeping an eye, obviously aware that Reading does like to push these things. But yeah, that should give York, obviously, hopefully Reading won't be buying up here as they did last round, in the last map, because they're not that desperate for rounds. They are behind, but it's not as big of a deficit as last round. So yeah, they're just going to have shorties here, and York should be able to pick up a 2nd round here and put themselves, an 8th round here and put themselves 2 rounds up over Reading.
Try as they might, these are 2 explosive teams. Every single round is winnable for these guys. Standard execute out from TBD. They just want to get that spike down. You know they're expecting some sort of push through these smokes. They're watching every angle. Paint shells are going to decline a little bit of that space away from them. Megalodonger holding here in lamps isn't going to be able to do that much as the spike finally goes down, though. TBD are kind of running out of utility, which kind of concerns me as Reading now have an opportunity to come in. The shorty's going to be difficult to use, but he's in a pretty decent position to do so. Profit takes down 1 as well. Doc Brodo trades it out. Everyone going down here, but so far a decent round for Reading, picking up a few kills on their way out. They do manage to eventually get the round on the board, but it cost them a good bit of money for York.
Yeah, Reading's going to be feeling good coming out of that one. Although they lost the round, York lost a huge amount of guns and economy there. So they're going to be rebuying their shields, they're going to be rebuying their weapons, and they're not going to be able to get a nice bonus round out here. So that is going to make the game a little closer than it could have potentially been. And Reading's going to have a chance to shut down their economy this round. If they win this one, York's not going to have... Although, to be fair, York's looking weird here. They're not actually going for rifles here. It looks like they might just try and force out with a bonus round, which could give Reading a chance into this round.
This is a really risky bonus round. They didn't come out of that with all that much left. It's pretty much... I mean, it's an inverse of the 2nd round. And the last thing you want to do against Reading is give them any way to gain momentum. I think it's worth the risk to try and buy up here against this team just off the way they play normally. But you know what? TBD has proven us wrong time and time again, and that they are more than capable of shutting down Reading with just these pistols. We'll see what they can do. They've already got a good bit of map control, perfectly spread. They're not going anywhere without that spike.
That is for sure. These players very divided, so we're not going to see anything very soon. But Rith going to get a pick onto Gisele there? He's standing out in the open, no one looking at long. showers there. That's going to be very confusing. But yeah, we're going to get York committing out onto this A site. The spike is down. I'm already getting 2 from this Lamps position. That is brilliant stuff from him. See a bit of a slowdown here. That spike is going to get down, planted behind those smokes, however.
Yeah, they eventually come in with the standard execute, and their only bit of sight control outside of those smokes was from Rith, who is now no longer in the game. Ego peeks on the flank. Doc Brodo low HP, the spike going down. They know where the last player is. It should be Reading taking advantage of the bonus round that TBD go for. In fact, they're looking to make sure that no weapons get saved by them, which is incredibly smart for Reading. I don't think that was a good decision by TBD. I think this has been massively taken advantage of.
I would agree with you. Yeah, I think York getting a little bit ahead of themselves there, maybe feeling good after being a map up, right? Thinking they can go for that bonus round just to, you know, stimulate their economy, make it so that later in the game they really don't have to worry too much. But yeah, going for a bonus round when you only save 2 guns, don't think it's worth it, because Reading able to capitalize on that. And although this will be a buy round here, Reading is only 1 round behind.
And 1 round has not been the difference so far. Reading are closer than they've ever been. However, I don't know. We've never actually seen them in the lead. That would be a pretty convincing way to start taking away this half right here and now. And I suspect it's going to be early here. Those 2 players stacked up at hookah. A flashbang at the wrong time could mean disaster for TBD. Waiting for the curveball. I love the patience here from Reading, and with the shot they try and prompt the peak, but it doesn't come through. A secondary curveball, and the timings are all off. It forces Reading to go back. They don't have that much utility. They know that TBD are stacked outside here though, and they still have plenty of map control to boot.
Yeah, plenty of map control, as you say. Those Cypher traps are going to prevent any flanks coming out from this Reading side. And obviously, Reading on the defense, York knows they're aggressive. York going to go on a really fast push up this A short. Mollied off in Lamps, but Megalodon's going to be able to go through that no problem. They're going to get the spike down. Yeah, Reading not challenging this at all, just letting them take the site here. Nade's going to come out from Yodoku back here. Got Brodo, Megalodon here, holding nice arse plant spots, but all 5 players are alive for Reading.
Reading have a good position if they just trade out these kills. Remember, TBD used all of their utility moving into the site. Things are about to get incredibly dicey in the post plant because they could just get smoked off here. And then all of a sudden, you were looking at a horrible situation. Doc Brodo not found out, though. Looks to trade out on the spike. Prophet and Giselle doing exactly that. Doc Brodo holding on to your life. Prophet, does he check the corner? Absolutely does. Looking to get this spike defused. Does that orbital strike buy them enough time? I don't think so, Hanno. I think that's another round on the board, and the game evened up here for Reading.
That is going to be real nice for Reading. They've evened it up. 8-8. That is something we really haven't seen before in this series. Reading, you know, looks like on their defense, they're pulling it out. Obviously, York has actually managed to get onto the site all 4 rounds in this half. So it's not like Reading's keeping off the site really well. It's not like they're going for that early aggression and taking the kills. They seem to be playing a lot more passive on their defensive side. They're playing back. They're letting York get the site. They're letting them burn all their utility. And they're going in with a massive amount of utility that they've just saved from not denying York the site. And that's worked out twice in a row for them now. So maybe they'll keep that going.
Now just sheriffs in their hands. We know what TBD can do and have done, but Pwapwa taking down Rith is not what you need. Double operator setup here makes things incredibly hard for those sheriffs. Remember, they're only a 1-tap up to a certain range where things get incredibly difficult for them to deal with. Already a 2-man advantage. The double man hold here in hookah. Do they check both angles is the big question. Trying to find through the wall. I think that actually came real close to connecting. Paint shells through. Oh, Prophet didn't fire. They don't think he's around this corner. Finds one. Gets the second. Beautiful little sneaky beaky play there. Finishes off the round. 5 members alive. Look at that economy from Reading.
Yeah, Reading is in a position that we just haven't seen this series. They are looking mighty strong. 2 operators out on Poi Poi and Ego there. 3 rifles, and they've got plenty of money to back themselves up. They've got 6k on Giselli there, almost 5k on Prophet. They are not going to be wanting for much the next couple of rounds. Sorry, if that's the York side there. Reading looking really strong there with 5 rifles. And, well, I don't know. Reading taking the lead for the first time there. What are we, are we expecting a win for them on this map?
It's unexplored territory, you know, it's something we haven't seen before. Oh, man. something they haven't seen before either, is bathroom aggression. Goes to pick up the orb. 2 members here. It doesn't actually amount to anything, but it is a net win for Reading. It's those little things across the map that have been giving them the advantage.
That is the case. Yeah, we're going to see York with 4 ultimates here on this attacking side. Maybe that they can even this up by utilizing a couple of those, but see these 2 players here walking through the smoke up short. Megalodon has used his ult. Didn't spot anything out. Yuku gonna get a kill with the ult. They're gonna get a second with a Vandal headshot there. Super nice for this York side. Spike down. Reading with only 3 players left. This is not shaping out to let Reading keep their lead for much longer.
As well, though, York have gone for the exact same play that they've gone for a majority of the other rounds, which is just a standard A execute. If this person gets removed from U-Haul, you're looking at a fantastic round for Reading to try and come back in. However, that's not a great trade for him. Ego Peak comes in, finds one more. We're still a bit of a problem in the back. Doc Roto finishes things off, though, 9-9. Dead even heading here into double digits.
Yeah, that lead not going to last long for Reading, but at least the game was a lot closer than the last one. We could really see it go either way at this point. Both teams going to be buying up here. Obviously, Reading with a strong economy. York still going to buy after winning that round. So, well, I mean, York did burn quite a few ults. I think 3 in just that one round. Reading going to have 3 up. And the big one you do like to see, especially on the defensive side, is that Cypher ult. If they can get a pick, get that Cypher ult out, that's going to give them so much information onto what this York side is planning to do.
I mean, let me fill you in on a little bit more American vocabulary here, though, Hanno. There's an old saying. It says, "Close only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades." And my friend, this is neither of those. They still have to win this map to maintain their hold, not only in the series but in the tournament. This is lower bracket semis. You are in or you are out. There is nothing else. There's no gray area, and there is no room for close in these guys' books right now. 3-member stack on B, though. In a pretty passive attack from TBD. These operators are about to get very close. Who finds the first? It's Yojoku. Again, finding the first pick of the round after an uncharacteristic miss from Ego Peak.
Yeah, that was, Ego Peak fired first. He was holding the angle the whole time, and he just whiffed. That could be the pressure getting these guys. It's 9-9. It's all to play for Reading here. They are still a map behind, and this is the second one. They're going to have to go another one if they want to make it to the next round of this bracket. But we're going to see Ormity here, going to get full blind. He's going to get the frag somehow, and going to put his Roomba out. Ult coming down onto where the spike is usually planted. Doc Broder going to get taken down by Ormity. This player in Lamps is proving mighty effective. The Ray's going to miss the shot. They're going to stand in the molly, going to go down to 0. That is York out for the count this round. Reading with 3 players up. I don't think this side's going to be able to do anything here. Giseli takes down Rith. And that's sorry, that's York winning their. Oh, I'm getting confused with the colors. Sorry. Yeah. Wow.
It's all good. They're all backwards on the scoreboard. It says TBD are still on defense. No, spectator bugs and balance. You name a better combo. I absolutely can't. Reading, though, what a retake from them. That was obscenely fast and bloody and everything that they want a round to be. I want to see more of that from them.
Yeah, I mean, that massive hellfire coming down, preventing the plant. We saw some real nice ult usage. We saw some real nice plays there. I think Omariti there just absolutely proving himself as an MVP of that round. Some massive picks and that full blind kill. I don't know how he managed it, but that was absolutely vital for that round.
Big stuff so far for Reading, but still hasn't netted them anything but a 1-point advantage. They have, and I mean have, to solidify this if they want to win this game scot-free. Otherwise, we may be heading into an OT. Showers hasn't really been used by TBD so far, so Reading are kind of expecting this sort of a push from them, but I honestly think it's just going to be more slow play. That hasn't been great for TBD. It usually ends in an execute 90% of the time on the A site, regardless of wherever they get a pick initially, and I think that opens the door way too much for Reading to find that first pick. Yes, you have players that can win it for you, likely Yoduku ending things properly and early and finding that first pick, but it's just the fact that you're giving Reading the chance to do that.
But look at this setup here. All of the York players are towards this B site, and only just are Reading starting to pull back their Cypher here towards this B site. If York had gone out a little bit earlier there, they would have caught Ego Peak alone on this site. Ego Peak going to miss the shot there. The execute coming out from this York side, and they're going to be looking to take this B site for free. Smokes are down, blocking out these Reading players. The rotate is coming out. Megalodon gets profit there. York having a very nice plant. Going to be able to secure this site very easily.
Finally, Ego Peak connects with a shot. Some more players around the corner here. Misses again. Ego Peak is having a very bad time with this operator so far. And all those missed shots amount to one thing. Likely another round on the board here for TBD, unless Amarity can somehow clutch us. There's no way. Hano, can he do it? Two players on either angle trying to take them one by one. Can't do it properly, though. Taking down my Silver Fang. The score tied up yet again here. We are going blow for blow and the full distance on Bind.
This is crazy stuff, yeah. Reading taking the lead just for York to drag themselves back into this game, keeping it tight. We're going to see probably a lot more of this because neither of these teams wants to give up here. You know, yeah, as you say, if Reading loses here, they are out. That is it for this series because York will pick up a 2-0. But obviously, York doesn't want to give up their advantage because they don't want to take it to a third map. We're going to see bit more aggression again onto this Showers position from Reading. I don't think it was discovered last time by York, so perhaps it's going to be effective. But Sylvan going to get a pick onto Ego Peak there. That is real big for York here.
Push, this long push. That's the spike. The spike could be going down. Oh no, they caught it out. That's so huge. Two players rotating around. This 2v2 matters so much. Showstopper thrown in. Pardon me, not Showstopper. Run it back. From the Phoenix, trying to gain a good bit of ground and controls there. We're playing Ring Around the Rosie. 2 kills traded out, though, by TBD. They've recontrolled the spike, and they're feeling a lot better about their odds here.
Yeah, I don't know how Reading managed to lose that scenario there. They had the spike. They had 2 kills down. But, yeah, York... Sorry, 1 kill down onto that spike there. And, York going to be in a massively advantageous position here. Reading with only 2 players left now after they lost so many trying to hold that spike. And Yaruku gonna get the spike down. 4 versus 2. Let's see if Reading can keep their spree of staying around up on.
They've got to go for it. They don't quite have the weapons, but it is winnable. We know what Gisele can do with the Ghost. Oh, this cage makes things so awkward. That is cruel, man. Force him to walk through it. I mean, you know exactly where this guy is. He's going to throw out the Sonic Dart, try and get a little bit of information, but the only information he's getting is that his partner's dead. Goes down. Megalodonger picks up another set of 2 kills here. 11-10. TBD regain their lead and set themselves up to go to match point.
Yeah, we know. Funny to see York ahead again. And, yeah, Reading, they are going to get a buyout, you can see, but don't know if they're going to have everything they want. Their Ego Peak not going to have that full armor on that operator. They are going to bring out 2 operators in this defense. Now, I do like this strat from Reading. I do like to see double operators on Bind. I think they can be really effective. 1 on A, 1 on B, or even doubling up on A sometimes. Hopefully we can see some big frags from them. Potentially I might try and go for some peaks with them because, again, they've been playing quite slow this half. Maybe if they want to retake the lead here from York, they're going to be more effective. But they're going to miss the shot there. The chance to pick off that York player absolutely whiffed, and Rith's going to escape with his life.
He's lucky to as well. Barely doing so. Again, the operators from Reading here have been incredibly sloppy. I think that's the only word I can really use to describe it. It has been missed shots. There have been so many opportunities. It's a great buy, ideally, but unless you hit your shots, it's not going to work out. Finally, though, they get that early pick onto Yodoku, which is what they need to start this round off right. Still, though, has not guaranteed anything. There's plenty of map control for TBD, and they can still go over the standard A execute, but look at Amarity. Already pushed up here. Set to shut down the whole thing. They're going for the same execute, the same old thing. Already 2 kills, 1 bullet, and things rightfully there. Look at he go 11-11, tie things up here. Megalodon found out by the room, but things are only falling apart here as Rith goes down to Pua and Le Operator. Can they get that last player? Does it even matter, Hano? Reading have come to play.
That is crazy stuff. Amarity should never have lived in that scenario. It was clear York knew he was there. They placed the wall down. They had 2 players swinging the raise there, and the raise just got the double headshot, which should never happen. But yeah, that converts the round, and Going to be 11-11 tied up. Either team here looking to take the 12th and put themselves on a potential match point. See, Reading really going to be feeling the pressure here because if they lose this round, they're going to be in a tough spot. See this arrow from Gisele. Probably not going to spot out anything here as there are no players from this York side towards A. They're all up towards this B, moving quite swiftly here. We can see a fast B.
Absolutely could. We expect them to come in. They don't have run it back. What they do have is a resurrect and a showstopper. Yodoku has been incredibly important in starting off these rounds. Those two defensive players at the back of site they need to find first. Drops a showstopper. There's not really an angle here. He doesn't have the same acrobatics that we saw earlier out of Already. Doesn't matter though. His teammates are going to start trading things out. Still one member of the back side here. That could be a real thorn in their backside. It's Gisele taking off heads and ending lives. Megalodon, the biggest player for TBD, now done, dusted, out of the way. They don't even have the spike down as Reading are trying to get themselves a map point. Another missed shot here by Ego Peak. Yodoku starts to even things up on site. Finally, that spike is prepared to go down, but it doesn't. Hano, one shot through the wall. Oh my god, that was close by Ego Peak. Rith finally with 2 kills. Whew.
So York is going to be the team on match point here. Obviously, this is the last round of this second half, no matter what happens. But York is the only one currently capable of winning this game off of this round. We're going to see quite an even spread of ults. We've got a Phoenix for York. The run it back was proven massive on Megalodon. So if we can see some big plays from him, if he can mega multi-kill Donga, if we can see that persona come out as we've been seeing, especially on Haven, then they could be looking at a swift 2-0 over this Reading side. But again, Reading, with that Raze ult, Omariti has proven very effective this game, and I want to see what he can do with that massive rocket of his.
I'll assume that is not a double entendre. Omariti. Ultimates online here for Reading. However, the orbital strikes from Doc Brodo have been really good. It's going to be a great way to clear out this A site. I suspect nothing but a standard A execute from these guys. Maybe it's through bathrooms if they want to mix things up. But with the orbital strike online, I think they just go back to their comfort play here, Hanno.
That is probably the strat for them. Obviously, York a player down. Reading, probably the correct... Oh, that orbital strike coming out long. Picks off Rith. That is massive for Reading. They're going to be up a player. Pushing in here, Yodoku, the execute coming out. Doc Brodo picks off Gisele in that lamps position. Spike is going to go down behind these smokes. Megalodonga looking for those kills. Going to spot out a bunch of players, but not able to get any kills here.
But this is another good position for Reading. All the utility's been used by TBD just to get onto site here. They had to use the orbital strike. They don't have the neural theft online. They used all their smokes, all their slowers, all their walls. Things are getting raw here. Ego peek for his Yodoku, who does not miss. Another peek from the man hiding in the smokes. Doc Brodo gets one traded out here by Prophet, who peeks through immediately, gets two, gets three, and ends the round rightfully. Wabwa ends it with the operator. 12-12. We're heading straight into overtime, Hanno.
Will we not see any more crazy plays from these teams? Because that's what's happening every round. We're getting Prophet walking out through lamps, getting 3 quick frags. That should not have happened. And Reading, well, they're not out yet. 12-12. They've taken it to overtime. This is the second map, so they've still got to win another one after this. Look at that push through there. Doc Brodo could have almost closed it out. Yodoku facing there when he shouldn't, and Silverfang in a very rough spot when he's getting swung from lamps. Whew, that is probably poor afterplant really there from York. But we're going to see what happens in this overtime. Obviously, we do have the new rules in place, so I think these teams have to win both a defensive round and an offensive round to actually close out the game.
Tall task here for either side. Both of them definitely favoring the defense. It's been dead even all kinds of ways, though. Reading are back on the attack. Let's see if they can remember what they learned. It's taken them this long, but ladies and gents, I said it earlier, I'll say it again. Close only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades. A one-way smoke down as well. This is going to be brutal if that operator can get into position. They're drawing out a ton of utility, though, from TBD. I wouldn't be surprised to see him rotate, but no, in comes already flying through this guy. Doesn't get much of anything. Catches a couple bullets on his way in. Not much more than that, though. They have the opportunity to rotate through the teleporter. This has been massively underutilized, but they trade out one here. They're being very stagnant before they get this spike down. Prophet, though, puts in a good bit of work and takes a lot of site control while they're at it. 3 versus 3 now. One player behind, but you know he's waiting. No, you can't be missing like that. This is semifinals, my friend. 1 bit of HP left. Yoduko is not able to trade himself out. Rith on the high ground, dodges the flash. With that, it should be a spike defused. Redding put to a halt, and all because you couldn't connect one more bullet.
Yeah, that is very unfortunate for Reading. It looked like a strong start for them, but yeah, York gonna pull ahead, 13-12. Now, obviously, they're gonna be, I believe, on the offense here. So we're gonna see. Am I correct? I'm not sure how these colors are working
Nope,
here.
right, you got it. You got it.
We're gonna see them on the offense. After that defense there, they're gonna have to win an offense. Now we've seen both these teams strong with their defense, right? They've had some really nice retakes, and if York can get an offensive win here, that's gonna close out this series. Obviously, no ultimates up so far. See a lot of movement towards this A site from York. All of their players lined up outside here, waiting for any kind of movement from Reading.
Reading aren't going to give them that. Playing passive on A site is nothing too unfamiliar. They're expecting an execute, which is what TBD have relied on this entire time. And it should come out. This time with 2 players in bathrooms, though, which is something that I don't think we've seen all that much of. It could be the change-up that they need. It's been only Rith moving through there, but now you've got a Phoenix to kind of help that out. Although the first curveball comes through, doesn't find much of anything. The standard execute. Nothing unexpected here. What Reading are allowing is a spike to go down in favor of a lot of that utility. They're saying, we can retake this. We know it. We're going to have a player in position and having to shut it down. It's going to be extremely tough for TBD to actually hold on to this one. But with Pwapwa out of the way, you're already looking at a much better round for them. Creeping through U-Haul. 3 players here. This is a very, very heavy stack. Drone through from Gisele. Should find 1 player around the corner here, if anything. Just catches out Silverfang on the Sage. Things are about to get bloody real quick. Trades out 1 here for Doc Brodo. The site's still wide open. Gisele, beautiful aggressive move here. Up on the high ground. Megalodongar doing things he absolutely should not be able to. The curveball through. Flashbang does connect. The spike looking to go off. And TBD looking to take the whole damn thing here. Just 1 more kill to do it. And they've done it off the back of Megalodongar and some ridiculous fragging from the Phoenix.
That was absolutely crazy stuff. That round, Reading had proved that they could retake those sites with all their utility, but just we saw Megalodon go absolutely massive there, and no, Reading it was close. It was a one-on-one at the end there, but York taking that site, 14-12 that second map going to go, and that's going to be York 2-0ing that Reading side.
I mean, what a ridiculous match. The entire thing. I mean, the first map was ridiculous, and in no way. Again, Reading need to learn to come out of the gate looking as good as they did in the second round, but you know, it takes so much more to claw it back than that, and they didn't get any of those defensive sides as well to start the maps off. Things were not looking great from even just a map pick. They tried their best and almost got it. I mean, what were some of the biggest highlights for you, Hannah?
I think pretty much every single kill Megalodon got. That was pretty much it. Like, he got kills that he just shouldn't be getting. He was getting triple kills, double kills everywhere. I just barely saw him get single kills. Crazy stuff from him. But also, the York final dream is still alive here, because York. This is York's second team, and they're now moving on to the lower bracket finals. So we could potentially see in a couple of weeks a York first team versus a York second team, which is pretty interesting to see.
Wouldn't be too surprised to see it. TBD have proved to be a very formidable team. Looking incredible. I think all of their players had clutch potential, which is a crazy thing. Whether it's Silverfang, Doc, Brodo, Megalodon, or every single player there was capable of winning rounds late, coming in for ridiculous retakes, and holding on when they needed. And I think that's the big thing that they had, is that everybody was just able to have that clutch potential and win rounds when they shouldn't. Especially, I mean, we could talk about those Sheriff rounds for days, but I'm sure there's somebody else who wants to be talking about it. That is Yinzu, who we will drag back in, our wonderful host for the night.
Oh my god, guys, I'm so sad. My win streak is broken. And also, yeah, like I'm sad for Reading, but like, my win streak.
Rip those predictions.
I know. I just want to highlight real quick that Juma has been in chat throughout this game, and he said, "Let's go, Reading. You don't need that Juma guy." I mean, is he
Turns
right?
out-
Yeah, is he right about this? Like, how would we rate Giselle's performance today?
I thought he played fantastic. I think you and I would totally agree on that. Giselle was doing
Yeah.
great. I think a lot of their issues kind of came in the coordination aspects. The fact that they were getting multi-killed by Megalodonger multiple times kind of says that. The fact that they weren't trading out these angles effectively was really what kicked him in the butt in the end. Because, I mean, imagine those kills get traded out instead of getting 2 or 3. All of a sudden, you're looking at better odds for them. So Megalodonger definitely the difference maker, but had Reading been a little bit more coordinated, I think they could have dealt with them a lot more effectively.
I mean, I know Dog Brodo is number 1, but just gonna throw this other one out there. Omariti number 1? Anyone?
I would agree with you there. That guy was crazy. I mean, some of the moves he pulled off with that raise was very clever, and just outstanding performance from him. You know, I mean, just pulling off that 1v2 where he got the double headshot on that A short position, just in that map there, when they knew his position, they swung to it at the same time, and he just gets the frags. Like, that's the kind of stuff that you want from a star player, and he definitely proved himself to be absolutely dominant in that game.
I mean,
no more Sage for that guy.
Yeah.
No Sage. Don't put him on Sage.
I was just about to say that. We talked about, you know, putting him on an agent that is more aggressive, and unfortunately it didn't pay off, but I don't think he was the issue there. I think he played his heart out, and he totally carried, and it was sort of a very small margin between the two teams. I do believe we can really quickly talk about our MVP tonight. I think it's pretty unanimous, and I think it's pretty deserved as well. I believe it is Megalodonga who has done some absolutely insane things tonight on both Haven and Bind. Dor, just talk us through why you think Megalodonga deserves this MVP award.
I mean, Megala multi-kill donger. We were calling it.
That's what we said.
Look at that.
Oh my
46 kills to his name. 36 death. The guy's a nut, whether you put a sheriff in his hand or a vandal. He is going to be putting in kills and coming out with just pure profit. A lot of time, he was the guy keeping their economy alive, keeping their chances at rounds alive, clutching them out at the end, finding kills in the beginning. I'm trying to think of something a Phoenix can't do. But even when it gets map control, the guy is like a walking smoke, because wherever he goes, people can't see because they're dead.
Yeah, I mean, Hanno, would you agree? And how big of an impact did he have in TBD's victory tonight?
I 100% agree with all that. I think Team TBD would have struggled massively without this player, because a lot of the openings that they exploited, even on Haven, right? This guy was the one that was getting all their opening kills. He was getting all the multi-kills. He was doing so much for that team. Look, 46 frags. And so many key kills. It wasn't like he was getting eco frags, you know, or an insane amount of eco frags. It wasn't like they were just, you know, kills after the round was basically done and dusted. He was going into those sites and he was performing. And I really think Team TBD would have struggled without this guy. I'd be interested to see if the York First team is interested in picking up this player.
Ooh, yo, don't be planting seeds in their minds now. Like, TBD need him. TBD need him. And speaking of Megalodonga, he is. We do have him right now in the waiting room. I believe we do have an interview with him. Are you there, Megalodonga?
Oh yeah. You're right.
Oi. Hello, I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Not bad, thank you very much. You know, just coming off a win like that.
Yeah, congratulations tonight. Obviously you guys lost on Monday, and I think a lot of the narratives were unfairly perpetuated by me to think that maybe we were going to have a repetition of what happened on Monday. So how important was it for you guys tonight to prove that you can beat Reading?
I mean, really important. If we lost that, we were going to quit. Like, we were so angry after Monday. We just couldn't lose. Like, we just played so dog on Monday. We couldn't believe it. We thought, we'll go here, we'll transcend 2-0, easy night. And there you are, did it.
Yeah, I mean, it was very, very nearly an easy night. What changed then between Monday and now? Because you guys do seem much more revitalized and structured tonight. And obviously, whatever you did work out, because you managed to come away with a win.
I mean, firstly, Rife, he wasn't asleep, he actually talked. We started hitting shots. I mean, we were all pretty crap on Monday. We played nervous, and then to be honest, I watched their VOD, and they're pretty easy to read, so just did it through that. Like, we shouldn't have lost on Monday because we just played bad.
Is there a particular reason that you guys chose to defend for every single one of the maps?
It's
tonight?
OP. Like we know they watching their stream. They play off emotions, and we knew if we rolled them on CT side, we'd just get in their head straight away. So we did that, but it's just pretty easy. CT side's pretty broken if you go first.
I mean, I think Door called it. He did say that if you guys could come out the door swinging, pun intended, that you're going to do okay, and it seems like you really exploited that. I just wanted to also talk about your individual performance. You are our MVP tonight.
Let's go.
Yeah, I guess, how do you feel about that, and do you think you deserve
over the moon?
MVP?
No, I did not. I played terrible, but I still did it right.
I mean, if that's you playing terrible, oh my gosh. Okay, how many frags do you usually drop then, if that was you on a bad day?
Oh, it's got to be 30 bombs. Got to be 30 bombs every time.
I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not sure if you heard I cast this earlier, but they have given you a new nickname. I believe it's Megla Multi-K Donga.
Megla Multi-Kill Donga. That's
Yeah.
his name.
I'm loving it.
Will you be carrying this forward as your new IGN?
Of course, we've got to bring it to Rootkit next Thursday.
Well, it's a good thing they brought them up. So I know that at the moment there's a very big love for Alfie AC. You know, we all love Alfie here. What a man, you know.
What a guy.
Yeah, what a guy. And you have to play him next week. So does that sort of affect you mentally at all, given that how unanimously adored he is?
No, I mean, Alfie is basically a York player. He's always in the Discord, like, and he's always in games, so you can do what you want with him. But, like, saying that, Rootkit next week, we've never beat him. We were hoping it was Oi. We've beaten Oi, but we'll have to give it a go, won't we, boys?
Oh, I mean, it's not very often that people say they want to play Oi over any other team. But honestly, here, especially with Hanno, he really, really wants to see an all-York final. Do you think...
York Derby's happening.
Exactly.
York Derby's happening.
Yes. So...
York's got 2 second teams. You heard it here first.
I mean, I feel like that meme is definitely going to live on. But in honesty, how likely do you think that is? Like you said, you've never actually beaten Rootkit. So what are the chances that we do see the York Derby?
I mean, if we turn up, very much so. If we play like we did Monday, we've lost, like, GG. But if we actually play now we don't have to focus on Monday, we can focus on Thursday and try and get a win.
Just before you joined the interview, Hanno did say that perhaps Oi should be scouting you and sort of promoting you to their team. Is this something that you would do if that would happen, or do your
Just
loyalties...
wait till next season. You watch.
Oh, wait, hold on.
Ooh,
Is this
York inside right there. York inside right there.
Are you leaking a roster move?
Ooh. Couldn't be me, Yunsu. Couldn't be me.
You didn't hear it from here.
Okay, well, I'm going to take that as a potential Oi TBD shakeup, which is going to be a shame. I love watching you guys play together, but what can you do when, you know, the first team come knocking? Before we wrap this up, Dor and Hanno, do you have any more questions for Megalodonga?
No questions, just statements. Keep playing like that.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with Dor here. Yeah, just play like that, and you'll beat Rootkit. Although you know, they are the winners of UKV Series 1, so they are going to be a pretty dangerous opponent. Best of luck.
Cheers, thank you.
Brilliant, thank you so much. Thank you, Megalodonga, and congrats on your MVP award again. And there we have it, everyone. We have to say goodbye to Reading, unfortunately. Thank you so much to you guys for taking part in Season 2 of UK Valorant. I've absolutely loved watching you guys, and I'm sure Dor is really sad to see you guys leave. So the next game you cast, Dor, won't be Reading. Yeah. Yeah. But more importantly, Team TBD are your winners tonight, which means they will be back here next Thursday evening at 7 p.m. to take on last season's winners, Rootkit. Thank you to everyone for tuning in, and thank you for the new as always. Make sure to follow us on Twitter at UK Valorant. and come back next Thursday because you absolutely will not want to miss this one. I've been your host, Ingsu Collins. Of course, lastly, a huge thank you to the observers, and of course, once again, your talented caster, Dor and Hanno. See you all next week.
Welcome to the